Good day, RGV. Today on Vida, we've got so much in store for you. So let's go ahead and get started. The show starts right now. Thanks again for joining us today. I'm your host, Danielle Banda. Now, I am thrilled that you guys are tuning in to the show every day, but especially today, because we had the chance to interview a very special guest, and if you're a Marvel fan, then you're gonna want to pay attention here, okay? With the wildly popular video game Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales still in the US Games Chart's top 5 list, multilingual Latinx firecracker actress, animal activist, and celebrated voice actress Jacqueline Piñol is at it again. She's voicing Rio Morales, and we had the chance to catch up with her to learn all about her motion picture work and why she's recently created The Canine Condition, a documentary series now streaming on Primo.tv. Jacqueline's a very busy professional, and there's a lot to unpack here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and check it out in today's Generation Inspiration segment.
Hi everyone. Well, my name is Jacqueline Piñol. I am an actress, a mom to a human, and 6 doggies. So I stay quite busy between, trying to get new work, working on current projects, and keeping everybody at home, grounded. It's busy, but it's good. I really enjoy having different aspects of life pulling at me in different directions all the time. I think it makes life more interesting, and it pushes us to more adventure and to growing. We never stop growing and learning, and that's a big thing for me. There's so many wonderful projects I've been lucky to work with, and it really comes down to the people you work with, the teams. Obviously, in my 20s, and I worked with, Steven Spielberg. So, what a highlight of my life to be able to work with him, because he is phenomenal, and he really is a team player. So in those early years for me to get my feet wet with people like that, I worked with Sam Raimi as well. So to be directed in films by them on AI and For Love of the Game was really great. That set me up, I feel like, for success. And I could take anything that comes at me, and rejection comes with the job, but I felt like, that's okay. It's just part of the game. And then most recently, in recent years, because I speak Spanish and I'm a Latina, the Spanish has really helped me to bring about roles that we can use our language, our culture, our background, different accents, regional accents, So I really love that, because as an actor, it helps me grow and stretch and also represent, different facets of our culture, because we are so multicultural within our Latino culture, right? The most exciting recent project was Spider-Man Miles Morales, for PS5, PS4. I've learned about all the game consoles as a mom, obviously. So it's been a very exciting project. It was top secret for a couple years while we launched. And obviously, we all needed a little pick-me-up in 2020. And when it launched at the very end, right before Christmas of 2020, it was such a bright light in my life. And I'll tell you what, it really touched me how many fans and how many people reached out of all ages across the world, because I think we all needed something exciting. And this game is so beautiful. I really credit just the artist, the storytellers, the director. I am the likeness of the character Rio Morales. I play Spider-Man Miles Morales' mom. So I don't just do the voice, I'm actually the physical, action of the character. We do that all separately on a stage. Obviously, we get facial capture, so they take your face and they put all these little dots on it, and they do like a green screen, and then they characterize your face and your facial features into a cartoon character. So I'm animated. So that's kind of a really neat realm to live in, because you see yourself as an animated character. Not many of us get to do that. So it's fun to have been introduced to this world.
So cool. Now to watch Jacqueline's documentary series, please visit primo.tv/The Canine Condition, and be sure to follow Jacqueline on Instagram at Jackie Pignol. Lastly, you can order Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales video game on PlayStation.com. Now, in honor of our interview with Jacqueline, our Valley Por Vida team thought it'd be fun to dive in deeper when it comes to the world of Spider-Man and really test your knowledge on the history of the character. So, are you ready for today's Fun Facts segment? So, according to culturestate.com, Spider-Man almost did not even get published. The site says that back in the 1960s, Marvel tasked the legendary Stan Lee with creating the new character to maintain momentum that the company had with the Fantastic Four. But the publisher wasn't originally a fan of Spider-Man, claiming that people generally don't really like spiders, tarantulas, or any other insect, and will probably not fare well with a character like that. The publisher said not only may Marvel fans not like a Spider-Man, but they most certainly would not want him to be a hero. So it's pretty amazing to see how far Spider-Man has come and to see how he's sewn his way into our hearts. The site also says that Spider-Man was the first teenage superhero, which was at first another hard sell for the publisher. See, he didn't have a sidekick, and he was not a sidekick to an adult superhero, so he was just supposed to seem more relatable to the fans. And seeing that Spider-Man was supposed to empower readers and fans, this made sense, and it paved the way for future teen heroes to come along. Lastly, in case you didn't know, it's Spider-Man, not Spider-Man. The site says that Stan Lee wanted to give him a fitting name for a spectacular hero and wanted his name to be distinct. So he went ahead and added a hyphen to the name. All in all, Spider-Man was a huge success and will no doubt continue to be. And we hope you draw your inspiration from his stories. Of course, there are real-life heroes to be grateful for as well, and that includes healthcare professionals. But with all the hard work that they do, it's important to make sure that they're well taken care of as well. Actually, coming up in March, our healthcare professionals will be entering into their third year of the global pandemic, and that means 3 straight years of being covered in heavy head-to-toe PPE, back-to-back 12-hour shifts, and all while trying to maintain a semi-normal family and friend life, and it can be tough. Luckily, Dr. Gail Gazelle, assistant professor of medicine at Harvard University and master certified coach for physicians, spoke with our team to list her top 5 tips for healthcare workers who are looking to build resilience and avoid burnout.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Gail Gazelle. I'm a physician at Harvard Medical School, and I'm also an executive coach for physicians and physician leaders. And today we're talking about tips to help build resilience in the healthcare workforce to manage all of the difficulties and pressures that occur. Well, it's very interesting, and the public may not be aware just how hard on themselves physicians and nurses can be, that we learn to be very self-critical and not focus on the good that we're doing. So my primary tip is to give yourself credit for how hard you are working, to notice when you're telling yourself, I should be doing more, what's wrong with me that I can't help this particular patient with COVID or with another disease, and to flip that into looking at all the incredible good that you're doing for patients each and every day. It can sound small, but it can actually help sustain us in the difficult work that healthcare involves. Another critical tip is not running on empty. I'm aware of so many physicians and nurses who get up in the morning, get their kids going, get everything set, get to the workplace, but they haven't actually stopped and drank anything, drank some fluids, or even eaten breakfast. So often we're so busy taking care of others that our own tank can be on empty. Some of the simple things that we can do are certainly pay attention to nutrition and hydration. So basic. Some something that we tell patients all day long, and yet we can forget that in taking care of ourselves. Also, just taking some moments to gather yourself, to have some calm, perhaps on your lunch hour, getting out of your chair or getting out of the busy unit that you're working in and walking a little bit outside if you can, sustaining your important relationships. These are all ways that we can fill our tank and not have to run on empty. Tip number 3 is the utmost importance of bringing calm into your day. The demands in healthcare are perfectly unreal. Before the pandemic, that was the case, and certainly it's the case now, particularly with understaffing. So we can be kind of operating in high gear all day long, and yet we need to bring moments of calm. We need to do what I call taking a purposeful pause, noting when our emotional and physical temperature is up, and actually pausing mentally and or physically, and perhaps just focusing on our breathing for 30 seconds. It again can sound so small, and yet it can really help us kind of come back from whatever heightened state that we're in and nourish ourselves a little bit with a good dose of calm. For anybody who tries that out, you'll find that you have a lot more energy and enthusiasm and ability to go forth and take care of others.
You can visit gailgazelle.com for more information on these tips as well as other research and projects. All right, now it's time to take a commercial break, and then we've got to look at your local weather updates, but be sure to stay tuned because Valley Por Vida will be back, and we're going to be taking you hunting and fishing with Texas Outdoor Lifestyles. We'll also talk about the It's Time Texas Community Challenge. That's right, there's still time to participate. That info plus so much more after the break.